Hey guys, what is up? Thank you so much for joining me for this Orphan Black chat. And wow, I felt like when was it? Saturday night's episode um, was hard to watch in parts, and I think you know which part I'm talking about. But before I start talking about that, if you are in the room, please let me know by saying hello so that I can know who is here for this conversation. And again, thank you so much for being here. Once I finish up with Pretty Little Liars after next week, I'm going to move this chat to Mondays, so it'll be closer to the time when the show aired, but I have too much going on with Pretty Little Liars and Twin Peaks, so it's just been kind of crazy. But if that works better for you, I can move it to Mondays to make it easier for everyone. But anyway, hi Thomas, thank you so much for being here. So this is kind of something we had talked about last week, that we felt like some of the clones were going to die this season, and they ended up doing that very quickly. Just the second episode, we lose MK, and I felt like the way that she died was just really brutal and hard to watch. I'm sorry, Thomas, I'm probably totally spoiling you, but just a heads up for anyone who's in here, we are chatting about episode 2, so if you haven't seen it, you might want to jump out. But hi CJ, thank you so much for being here. But anyway, her death was really brutal, and since they ended up killing her off in just the second episode of the finale, I do feel like we'll have more clones, at least one more, and then other people dying in this season. Hi Chase and hi Alex, thank you so much for being here. But what did you guys think about MK's death and the way that she died? It was very honorable of her, because Sarah was going to be the one to die if she didn't try to take her place. So you have to give her like major props for that. Okay, thank you, Thomas. Hi, Ralph. Thank you so much for being here. So again, this is a chat about Orphan Black for anybody who might be confused, but we will have Pretty Little Liars tomorrow at 5 p.m., just like the schedule. But this is for the latest Orphan Black episode, and you can stick around if you, if you want, but I'm just giving you a heads up. This will be about Orphan Black. But anyway, let me just again say hi, Valentina. Thank you so much for being here. But I thought that MK's death scene was very brutal. Now, I was really surprised that we saw, why can't I ever think of his name? The 170-year-old guy. I thought they were kind of saving him for the finale, but we ended up meeting him in this episode, which I found interesting. And Kira is very confused and wants to go back with Rachel. And she's so amazing, because she even knew at the point that, MK died. She knew when she died. But she doesn't understand like why she has all these special powers and why she's special. So she wants to go be with Rachel and try to figure out like what is going on with her. Alex says, since MK was already dying, you think her death was supposed to prompt the death of Ferdinand. Okay. And Amber, thank you for being here. Yeah, that's totally fine. But like I was saying earlier, I think some of you just joined, so you might not have heard me. With them killing off MK this early in the season, I definitely think we're going to have more deaths. But Ferdinand's terrible, so let's get rid of him. I mean, I definitely think that's going to happen. Also, I love the scenes with like Helena and her babies, and I think someone said this, and I don't remember who said this in last week's chat, so if you're here, please let me know so we can give you credit. But they are self-healing babies, like Kira is. So even though she had that puncture wound, and I think one of them was injured, they were able to heal themselves. But I really did enjoy when she attacked like the nurse or the doctor. Helena is just so funny, and she completely cracks me up. Hi, Eric. Thank you for being here. But what did you guys think about this episode? I don't think well, Alex has talked about it, but what did you guys think, and what do you think is going to happen in the next few episodes? One thing that's good about it being the finale is that I think, sometimes the show can have like slow episodes where not a whole lot's going on, but considering that this is the finale, it looks like they're going to make every episode packed, especially with killing someone off, right off the bat there, just in episode 2. I mean, that's kind of early, but again, it is the last season, so they're going to do more stuff. I am currently like frozen on here. I don't know if I'm frozen for you guys, if you guys can still hear me, but it's showing me just, okay, wait, I think I'm working again. I don't know, but let me know if you're having issues and I'll go into the technical side and try to fix it. no one's responding, so I don't even know if anyone can hear me. Firkin says Helena is your fave. Yes, I love Helena. She's awesome. Probably Allison's my favorite, but Helena would be like a close second. I'm still hoping to see Crystal, even though some people hate her. She's just so funny. Okay, great. I'm glad it's still working. Alex is asking, have I read The Island of Dr. Moreau? And I think that plays a big role in this, or some type of a role in this show, and I haven't. Serena's asking if there's someone who I want to die. Ferdinand, who killed MK, definitely. He's kind of like a weasel to me. Like, he's just a shady, terrible character. I don't really like Rachel, so I wouldn't be sad if she died, but I don't need her to die, but I just don't trust her. But if she, she may make a turnaround, and she may be a nice person, because she's trying to act kind of nice now, so I don't really know if I trust that. But if she does want to turn around and be nice, then we can let her live. Ralph says MK was introduced in a comic book miniseries between season 3 and 4 and had a violent backstory to where you knew MK was destined to meet a violent end. And I remember talking about this last year with some of you guys, that there was a comic book series that I guess kind of followed along, or it was somehow part of the show, but I don't think it came before the show. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know some people who used to come to the chats last year, or maybe you're here now, had also been reading the comics. Thank you, Lucy. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, but I feel like having these on, I just had to have these on Tuesdays because there's too much going on Mondays with Twin Peaks and Pretty Little Liars. But at this point, I'm kind of like, wait, what have I not talked about? Like, what have I'm kind of like, what am I forgetting? Because it was on Saturday, and I actually watched it on Saturday. Last week, I watched it late, so it was like more in my mind. So you guys are going to have to help me. Lauren says you called it on MK, knew that she was going to be one of the clones to die. Yeah, I mean, we don't know her that well, and she's not super popular, so it was a really brutal death, but I don't think, like, it was really depressing for the fans. I don't know. Oh, and we got to see, what's his name again, who people had asked about him last week. And he's kind of nice. The twins. What is his name? Why can't I think of his name? One of the twins that's not, like, totally evil, because most of those twins, the guys were like, or twins or whatever they were. They're clones, not twins. They were totally evil, but he was kind of a nice one. Alex says in The Island of Dr. Moreau, a doctor experiments on people and turns them into savages. You think that's what's happened to the person who attacked Sarah in episode 1. We did not have any mention of that person in this episode, but remember, they were like, I don't know, someone who's experimented on, or a clone that, went bad, kind of like last season when the people were trying to have perfect babies, but they ended up like monster babies, something like that. Ralph says it was made to introduce, the comic was made to introduce MK into the TV show without taking up screen time. So that's really interesting. Firkin says you think Sarah could be the one dying, which is interesting because it seems like Kira kind of wants to have more independence now. And she has people who would take care of her, probably Felix and Mrs. S and maybe even Donnie and Allison. I don't know, but that would be sad. That's going to be really tragic. I mean, I do think we're going to have probably at least one tragic death, because they wanted to put MK in there early because they knew, like, a lot of people wouldn't be that sad, even though, there's no reason to dislike her, but it was a sad death, a sad way to die. And I don't know what happened. I think we talked about this last week, or yeah, it had to be last week because that was the first episode. But the guy who is Kira's dad has kind of disappeared. So, I mean, if he reappears, he might come back and be someone who could take care of her if that happens. Like, I don't want Sarah to die, but I do think we need to expect that somebody that we really like is going to die. And I think the obvious choice would be Cosima, because she's been sick, but she may be able to be cured. Jonathan's asking, how can Kira sense the other clones? And that's kind of what she's trying to figure out. And she wants to talk to Rachel and try to figure it out. And I mean, she's got more powers or whatever than her mom. So that's really interesting. And it looks like Helena's babies are going to kind of be like that too. So maybe it's just like as a clone, because I think, right, the clones weren't supposed to be able to reproduce. But I think that somehow, since Sarah was able to do that and Helena was able to do that, they're like super versions of the clone or something. Firkin says you liked Kira's father. I liked him too. I thought he seemed like a really good guy, and I could be wrong. He might be terrible, but I thought he was a good guy. I just thought of the name of those guys, and it's the Castor clones, the Castor twins or whatever. And that one guy who was in the episode, which I can never think of his name, this week is like a normal one. Like, he's not crazy. Firkin says you'd rather have Sarah dead than the other clones. She's your least favorite. Okay, I mean, you know, she's kind of been, I guess she's the first one we knew, right? So she's kind of been like the front runner, the lead character, the lead clone for a long time. But, you know, now that you guys are saying that, I could see that happening, honestly. Alex says Kira's father was in Game of Thrones. I've never watched Game of Thrones. I know so many people have asked me to watch that, and I haven't. So I kind of missed the boat on that one. Ralph says Alice and Donnie and Helena have to survive due to them being the somewhat comic relief of the show and fan favorites. I think so. And I think, you know, I think she's going to have her babies, and I think they're going to be okay. And maybe they'll all live together. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm excited for them. Yeah, actually, Huey, this is a different Allison. This is the Orphan Black chat. But tomorrow, 5 p.m., we'll have the PLL chat. So, and tonight there'll be a PLL video. But we're not talking about Pretty Little Liars in this. I'm so sorry. Just because this is dedicated to Orphan Black. So Ralph says Sarah's baby daddy is getting that Game of Thrones paycheck, so we won't be seeing him this season, which is sad. I really liked him. Maybe he can come in for like one episode or for the finale or something. I don't know. So yeah, but you know, I'm glad that they're doing big things and they're not waiting around. Sometimes when people have a final season, they like wait till the last episode to do big things. Might remind you of some show that we all watch, or many of us watch. But I kind of like it when they spread things out. They're not afraid to kill people leading up to that final episode. So Alex says, do I think the dream Kira had about the Sestras, or I always say sisters, but I guess it's Sestras, killing Sarah will be the finale? Oh man, like that would be really bad. Like, I can maybe deal with her dying, but I don't want her sisters to kill her. Like, why would they kill her? You know, that would just be terrible. I would absolutely hate that. I mean, I don't want her to die, and I don't love her, but I don't dislike her. I like her better than Rachel, if we're going to be honest. So, you know, I think she has kind of a tough exterior, but I feel like we know her the best. We've gotten to know her better because she was like the first one we were introduced to. And except for like we were sort of introduced to Beth, but not really. And we've only seen her like in flashbacks. Did she have a dream that they killed Kira, or that they killed Sarah? I'm getting Why? Okay. I don't know. Still waiting to get back. Yay. I don't know if you guys can see me or not now, but I have an ad on my end, so who knows? I think I'm back. Anyway, what I was saying is I used to watch Nashville. I actually really liked it. I know a lot of stuff has happened on there that I haven't seen because I stopped watching it, but I don't know if it's still a good show or not. Alex said that Kira had a dream where all the aunties came together and killed it. Right. Okay. That's what I thought you were talking about. Well, I really hope that doesn't happen. That would just be a terrible way for her to die. And I don't want her to die, but after what you guys are saying, I could definitely see that happening, but I definitely don't want it to happen that way. That would be like the worst case scenario. Yes, and for those of you who watch This Is Us, they did release, I think yesterday, that it is coming back in September 25th. And if you are new to my channel, I do cover that show as well. with videos. I think we do live chat sometimes too. And anyway, but it's going to be on Tuesdays. And I think it was on Mondays before. Is that right? So it'll be on Tuesdays this year. And I think How to Get Away with Murder is going to be on around the same time if you watch that show. And if you don't, you should definitely catch up on that or start watching that before that time, because it's a really good show if you like mysteries and trying to figure out who killed who and things like that. It's very, some seasons are better than others. Last season wasn't that good. Alex said she might become like the man who attacked her on the island. I mean, I kind of feel like, I don't know. I feel like that person was born with birth defects and was allowed to live, because I feel like they were like killing those babies, that they were like the clone babies that went bad, or the experimental babies, like the perfect babies that went bad. So I feel like maybe you have to be born that way, but I don't know. I mean, I guess if someone experiments on you as an adult, things could go wrong and then you could become like a monster, which would be like the worst outcome ever. So I hope that doesn't happen. Either one of those scenarios is really bad. Like her sister's killing her, or she becomes like this mutated, terrible monster because someone experimented on her. Like that's equally as bad. But anyway, yes. What is my favorite season? Gosh, that's hard. I feel like this show's been on so long, and honestly, I didn't start watching it live, like in real time. I think maybe I picked it up at like the second season, maybe. Alex says the robotic maggot did alter DNA. What is my favorite season though? I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. I'm having trouble remembering like what happened in the past on this show. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's been on for a really long time and it's just kind of like fuzzy for me, like what happened. What are your guys' favorite season? Maybe if you remind me of some like key moments, I'll be like, yes, I remember that. You know, if you guys bring something up, I'll remember it. But you know, Jonathan's asking if I think Helena will die and leave her babies to Allison. I really hope not. I think we said a little bit earlier, like we hope that Helena and Donnie and Allison live. Those are like my favorite people. So I mean, that will be really sad if any of them die, or at least it'll be really sad for me. Ferkin really liked season 3. Remind me what happened in season 3. It's something, even though I watch so many shows, I never remember them by seasons or by episodes. And it's crazy because a lot of people, especially like with Pretty Little Liars and stuff, they can be like, we'll just be in a chat and they'll say, okay, remember like episode 2 or season 2, episode 14, that's when Allison did this or whatever. And I'm just like, no, like I don't remember anything by like episode titles. I remember key events, but that's amazing to me that people can remember like specific episodes, like the season and the number, and then remember like an entire, like when a show's had a lot of seasons. Cause I know that's not just because it's this show. Like, unless it's like Twin Peaks, because it only had 2 seasons before, so it's pretty simple to figure out what happened when. Maybe because I watched them all at the same time too. But yeah, what happened in season 3 that was good? Because I don't remember. Ralph says, could I imagine trying to explain Orphan Black to someone who has never seen it? No, not at all. Not at all. Oh, that was good. Ralph says that Allison and Donnie's bling bling dance moment is my favorite. I would have to say, like, if we were talking about a moment, it would have to be something with Allison, Donnie, and Helena, because I think the 3 of them together are great. And I love that Helena has like a big crush on Donnie, which is just so funny. And just some of the stuff she said to him is hilarious. But yeah, they were like dancing on the bed and everything. Allison and Donnie, do you guys remember that? It was almost like a fake music video. It was so funny. Rob says anything with Helena or Helena and the Hendricks. Yeah, those are the best. They have to be because they're just funny. And I just love the 3 of them together are so great. And I think when like Helena first got with them, it was like we were all kind of wondering like, how's she gonna act? Because you know, something else I remember that I really like about her is how she eats a lot. Like when she went to Art's house and she just like raided his kitchen and she had like the whole table full of food and was just going crazy, like mixing all kinds of crazy foods. That's just funny. She's just crazy. It's funny. Amber says, you think there are people who focus solely on one show and not several who can, yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know, or maybe people are just able to multitask. I watch so many different shows. And even though like I would say some I just love and I'm a super fan of them, I still couldn't tell you. But I think that's also like the type of people who can remember all the lines from like movies and whatever. But with movies, there's only a handful of movies that I can watch more than once. I'm really weird about that. Like I have to love it or I'm just going to watch it once and I'm never going to come back. So I do know some lines from some movies, but some people like know the whole thing. It's just like, wow. Alex says you liked when Allison tied Donnie up and got drunk and Sarah had to interrogate him as they had the house party upstairs. Yeah. I think it's season 3 when like Allison was running for office, because I feel like that was when a lot of the funny stuff went down. Ralph says when Helena saves Allison and Donnie with the bow and arrow. I remember that. Yes. No, I've never watched Stranger Things, and I know a lot of people have asked me to, and I'm probably missing out on that as well. I don't remember. Oh, the birthday party. Yes. I do kind of remember that. Wow. Some I'm getting like the same questions from some people that I've already answered, so I'm not going to answer those again. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to ignore anyone, but I keep seeing like the same question here. Jonathan loves when the clones pretend to be each other. Right. Like how great is Tatiana? I mean, she to me is amazing. Okay, so I was thinking about that and how great she was and how I've told you guys that and how you guys agree that she was playing, okay, when she went to pick up Kira, she was playing, she's playing Rachel, even though she already plays Rachel, but she was playing like a less convincing version of Rachel, but she was still different than the other clones. Like, how does this woman do this? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, she was playing a fake Rachel, but she kind of seemed like Rachel, but she didn't seem like any of her other, clones or personalities. And how the heck can she pull that off? Thanks for, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if people are trolling or if they're just confused or whatever. So I don't want to be mean. I mean, sometimes it's obvious when someone's trolling because they say really terrible things, but I don't know. But I'm just done addressing that. Alex says Tatiana is a masterclass in acting. And I really wish the best for her. And I don't know, I haven't heard what she's doing after this, but I do wish the best for her. Ben, thank you so much for being here. I'm just now seeing you in the room. You said when Allison ran for office, it was hilarious. Yes. So funny. And you know what's funny is when Allison is like in the Jesus Christ Superstar musical, and she just wants so much to be just like this housewife and this, what do you call it? I mean, just like a normal person. She doesn't really want to get in all that drama, but then she does, she ends up in drama. Ralph says when Crystal goes, oh, I love Crystal. When she went undercover in the spa and she thought that like, what did she think? Like some of the people behind like makeup companies were out to get her or whatever. It's so funny. I don't know. Alex says Tatiana playing Sarah, playing Rachel, not so convincingly. Right. That is just like, how do you do it? Like if you asked me to play one of these clones, you would probably be like, you're still being Kelly. Like, but she does all these clones and then she does, and herself, a clone that she plays, but not so good. Ben says the way that Allison swears is just amazing, right? She had something really good in this episode. I forgot. I was like, I'm going to steal that to be funny. And I've forgotten what it is, of course. It's definitely so funny. And Ben says Crystal's your favorite. I'm glad to hear that. I feel like I did either a video or maybe last year when I was doing a bunch of videos on this show and everything. People were saying they hated Crystal. I don't know if it's some of you guys or what. I mean, that's totally fine. Everybody has different opinions, but I just remember so many people being like, I hate her. And she was just cracking me up constantly. And I thought like, how can you hate her? I don't know. Like, yeah, she's like the stereotypical ditzy, like fashion person that people may not like, but it's just so funny. Like, I don't know. I think she's great. She's just amazing. And we don't see her enough, and I hope we see her again. And I think we will because it's the final season, and why not? And we need to see the guy that Tatiana plays. What is his name? We've barely seen him. The guy clone. I like him too. Let's bring him back, I don't know. But yeah, there've been so many great moments. I used to watch the after show. Do you guys get that? It's like from Canada. It's like, I used to come on, which is weird, actually. I was just now thinking about that. It did not come on Saturday because like some talk show came on. But Tony, yes, Tony. But there was a talk show that was really cool. I watched it like every week last year, and it would have like one of the stars or two of the stars on there, and they would just answer questions, and you just got to see them be themselves. And they had Tatiana on a lot. Did you guys ever watch that? Because a lot of people tell me they couldn't watch it if they didn't live in the US or something, or didn't live in Canada. Fergan loves how Tatiana can speak differently, accents and stuff. I think she is amazing, and I'm so glad she won. I'm going to get it wrong. I don't know what it was that she won. Was it an Emmy? I'm going to say the wrong thing. I said it one time and like I said the wrong thing. But she won a big award for being like the best actress, and she so deserved that. Yeah, maybe you can watch that on YouTube or something. I'm not sure. Ralph says that Rachel's the least favorite clone for me. The guy clone is Tony. Right. Yeah. I mean, Rachel, I don't really relate. Not that I relate to Crystal, maybe. I don't know. But I don't really relate to Rachel. Like, she's totally, I don't know if we would be friends, you know, like in real life. Like, we just don't have much in common, I don't feel like. And she's just kind of tough, you know. I think she has some good parts to her, and I don't dislike her, but she's not my favorite. I'm with you guys. I like Allison, probably. Like, I'd probably be friends with Allison, but I'd want to be friends with Helena, but who knows? Because Helena's like so strange. She either hates you or she likes you, and she hates most everyone, so you never know. But she's just so funny. I would want to be her friend, you know. But anyway, I think we've covered everything we can cover. After Black. Okay, yes. So for some reason, I don't have it on BBC America now. And I'm just going to watch it on the website then, because I really enjoyed that. That was really fun. Or if they're putting it on BBC America, they must not be anymore. But I guess the people who told me like they lived in Canada, they were always getting this show because the show's on a different channel, obviously, in Canada. Bergen says, you think you can only be friends with Allison and Kasima. Kasima seems really nice. I think I could be friends with her. Yes. Ben says Allison and Crystal are definitely your favorites. Amber, you live in the US, so it's on BBC America. And which is, I don't really watch much on there, but you know, I watch this, and a lot of their shows look good. I just sometimes have trouble finding the time to fit in new shows, but I try, you know. I'll probably have time here pretty soon, like when Pretty Little Liars ends. But I'm gonna wrap this up today. Thank you so much for everyone who was here, and I'm excited to see what happens with the rest of the season. And I thought this was a good episode. I think every episode's going to be good because we don't have very many episodes left, and there's no reason to have any kind of fillers or slow episodes. So who knows? Why am I not coming back? Oh, wait, I'm back. I'm back. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys bye. Seriously, I don't understand. Somebody hates me. I feel like this time slot is bad or something. When I do 4 o'clock shows, I don't have any issues. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Have a great day. I'll probably see most of you guys soon. I'll have a Pretty Little Liars video out later tonight. So bye, guys.